My name is Jonas Wells. I work for South Dalarnas Coordination Agency in Sweden, and I've got a success story for you guys. A year ago I started working for the South Dalarnas Coordination Agency, and we work with public sector coordination, trying to get different organisations and their leaders to work together. And I remember my first meeting with all these leaders. It was a short meeting, and they spent most of the time complaining about how bad everything was in their systems. You've got the job centre saying, we've got a real rise in youth unemployment and it's unstoppable. And the social workers the social welfare system, the municipality, the leaders were saying, that's not a problem. We've got a huge problem with integration. We've got all these young people and people moving in, and we have to build new schools. I mean, and then the social insurance officers were saying, we have real problems with the rising in sick leave and disability benefits. And sad to say, I joined in a little bit, because on my initial weeks I found out that the team that they were sponsoring and developing was not working at all. The staff was crying, and clients weren't getting very good help, and there was a lot of personal conflicts and stuff. And I told them, your team is not really working either. So, and they were saying, well, we didn't even know about that. It's really bad. So I prompted them. I told them that maybe we should set some time to some side and get together at the first possible moment, spend a day and talk about what we really like to happen instead of all this. And they agreed to that. And they said, Jonas, could you help us process lead this meeting? And I said, I'll do that. And the time, it was 3 months later. But those 3 months is not an idle time. There was a lot of conversations going on, and a lot of research going on about what was really happening. And we met up in October, 3 months later. And we started up at 9. And before the coffee break, a quick review of how things weren't working around this team specifically. And before the coffee break, the most responsible leader, the one who was most in charge, the municipality leader, saying, I understand where this is going. I think it's a good idea if we stop doing what's not working. This team needs to. I'm prepared to. Let this team fizzle out and do something fresh and new. So I said, that's very brave. And this was the group's meaning. So I said, well, we're going on a coffee break now. So I'd like to think that when we come back from the coffee break, the space is going to be used for talking about what you like to see happen instead. This is what we'll be talking about the rest of the day. And they nodded and agreed. So we went off to coffee break, came back, and when in doubt, miracle question. So what will happen? After today, you'll go to sleep. Miracle will happen. And the answers to the miracle question were wonderful. And we talked a lot about all resources that were already working in the right direction, and what they answered became the basis of a letter of intent that they sent out to all the organisations and to their staff and to their leaders. This is what we'd like to see happen instead. And it was a magical platform building public letter which formed the basis of a new team where they were much more in charge, much more in control on the principles of a solutions-focused dialogue.
How many people did that impact, and what was the effect?
It's impacted on the whole community in a way, because this team is something that the whole community has been yearning for a long time. As I said, there's lots of people needing better help, and this team has made it possible to work together in a way that wasn't possible before. So we think that we have a real good chance of helping people who are in dire need of joined-up services, people with long-term unemployment, long-term history of sickness and ill health, and give them hope and find ways back to work and back to life.
And you have some measurable results too.
Well, a new team has just started, but we've got everything in place. Hope the nice thing about this story is that I think the letter of intent made it possible for the professionals who really wanted to work for this to show their colours. So the team that's formed is a highly professional team. It's the best workers of all the organisations, people with years and years of skill, both with conversation techniques and contacts and networks, getting together and really believing in a new project, a new idea, a new team, which is radically different from what happened before. So we're very hopeful. Thank you.